Imagine the scene. You walk through the front door after an exhausting day, carrying the weight of deadlines, meetings, and draining social interactions. Before you even take off your shoes, your eyes meet those of your dog or cat, and the first thing you do is narrate, in detail, how difficult your day was, to an unsuspecting outside observer. This monologue directed at an animal that does not master human verbal language may seem like an eccentricity or even a sign of loneliness. However, modern psychology reveals that this behavior is a fascinating window into the sophistication of our social mind and our emotional health. Many people feel a slight embarrassment when they are caught talking to their pets, fearing being judged as crazy or excessively lonely. However, this practice is far from being a symptom of pathological social isolation. In fact, behavioral science points out that the tendency to project consciousness and intentions onto non-human beings is a reflection of a highly functional and empathetic mind. We don't talk to our animals because we've lost touch with reality, but rather because our brain architecture is so geared towards connection that we seek bridges of communication in all beings that demonstrate affection and presence. The central concept here is anthropomorphism, which consists of attributing human characteristics, feelings, and motivations to animals or objects. Although the term has historically been used pejoratively in scientific contexts, contemporary psychology sees it as a direct byproduct of social intelligence. When you look at your pet and read an expression of understanding or comfort in it, your brain is using complex neural circuits that have been evolutionarily designed to interpret other people's mental states. It's a sign that your ability to perceive life and consciousness around you is operating at a high level of sensitivity. From a neurobiological point of view, this interaction promotes an immediate chemical change in our body. By treating an animal as a confidant, we activate the brain's reward system and drastically reduce the production of cortisol, the hormone associated with chronic stress. The pet functions as an external emotional regulator. He offers a listening ear that, while not articulated in words, is perceived as unconditional and safe. This criticism-free environment allows the individual to process their own emotions aloud, something we often cannot do even in front of others. Human beings for fear of retaliation or social judgment. The need for connection is a fundamental pillar of our survival. When you talk to your pet, you are exercising what we call theory of mind, which is the ability to infer what the other person is thinking or feeling. With pets, this projection is purified by our own emotional needs. The animal becomes an emotional safe haven, a mirror where we reflect our feelings without the interference of complex social filters. This dynamic creates a positive feedback loop where the silent presence of the animal validates our pain or our joy, providing a sense of belonging that is essential for mental balance. In addition, vocalizing thoughts to a pet helps with cognitive organization. When we transform abstract feelings into words, the brain is forced to structure the narrative, which facilitates problem-solving and self-perception. In this scenario, the pet acts as a facilitator of this informal therapeutic process. It doesn't interrupt with unwanted advice, doesn't minimize your suffering, and doesn't change the subject. This symbolic act of listening allows you to truly feel heard, which reinforces your self-esteem and your ability to cope with the adversities of daily life in a much more resilient and balanced way. It is important to highlight that people who talk to their pets tend to have high levels of interpersonal empathy. The ease in recognizing the inner life of a different species suggests an open mind and a keen social sensitivity. Instead of being a sign of madness, this practice reveals a vibrant brain capable of recognizing the complexity of life in various forms. This invisible connection, based on pure affection, is what keeps us human in an increasingly digital and impersonal world. If you identify with what's being said here, share your story in the comments, or leave a like and subscribe. This exchange of experiences helps build a community of people who value emotional intelligence above social stigmas. The relationship with pets also teaches us about vulnerability. In the presence of a dog or cat, we don't need to maintain the masks of competence or strength that the job market or public life demands. We can cry, laugh at silly things, or admit failures without fear that this information will be used against us in the future. This psychological security is one of the greatest benefits of healthy anthropomorphism. By treating our animals as family members and confidants, we are, in fact, taking care of an essential part of ourselves that is often neglected amidst the rush and pressures of modern adult life. Historically, the domestication of animals was not just a utilitarian process of hunting or guarding but a joint evolution of effective bonds. Thousands of years of coexistence have shaped the canine brain to understand our intonations and the human brain to seek comfort in their company. Therefore, your habit of talking to your dog is the continuation of a deep biological tradition. Science shows that eye contact with our pets releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, creating a state of mutual well-being. This chemistry of love is what sustains the mental sanity of millions of people who find the most comforting answer in the silence of their animals. Behavioral psychology suggests that this practice should be encouraged, especially during times of crisis or life transition. The act of talking to your pet reduces the feeling of subjective loneliness, which is different from physical loneliness. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone if there is no deep connection. The animal fills this void in a unique way because its presence is constant and its acceptance is total. It doesn't demand that you be anything more than you already are. This simplicity in relationships is a powerful antidote to social anxiety and depression, promoting lasting emotional stability. We seek anthropomorphism because our minds hate the social vacuum. When we don't find humans available for a safe connection, our brain recruits the closest beings to fulfill this vital function, and the pet accepts this role with admirable readiness. It becomes the guardian of our most intimate stories and the spectator of our personal transformations. This partnership is a testament to our infinite capacity to love and seek meaning in the world. Recognizing that talking to your pet is an act of emotional intelligence is the first step in embracing your own sensitivity without any trace of shame or hesitation. At the end of each day, when you sit next to your four-legged companion and share your concerns, you are practicing mediated. You are telling yourself that your feelings matter and deserve to be expressed. This internal validation, projected onto the animal, strengthens its psychic structure and prepares it to face the next day with more ease. The pet doesn't need to understand the syntax of your sentences to understand the vibration of your soul. This communication goes far beyond lexicon. It resides in the frequency of care and the absolute presence that defines the essence of what it means to be a sentient being. Therefore, never feel like you're losing your mind when talking to your pet. Instead, feel that you have a mind capable of seeing beyond appearances and building bonds where others would only see an animal. This sensitivity is a powerful tool for personal development, as it allows you to explore your emotions in a playful and safe way. The habit of treating animals as confidants is proof that your brain is socially brilliant and that your capacity for empathy is one of your greatest assets. It is through this pure and selfless affection that we find the strength needed to navigate the complexities of modern human life. In a world where we are constantly evaluated by our results, having a space where the only requirement is our presence is a psychological luxury. Your pet offers this space every day for free. Take advantage of this connection to reconnect with yourself, to lower your guard, and to rediscover the joy in small interactions. Science confirms your brain thanks you every time you stop everything to have that conversation with your best non-human friend. It is an investment in your emotional longevity and a constant reminder that, deep down, we all seek to be seen and understood in our truest essence. We conclude, therefore, that anthropomorphism is, in fact, a bridge to our own humanity. May you continue cultivating these silent and profound dialogues, knowing that every word spoken to your pet is a brick in the construction of your own mental health and well-being. That way, I'll know you're enjoying the content. Valuing these bonds is essential for a full and conscious life. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. If this topic has brought clarity to how you interact with your animals, continue exploring these dynamics with us. Leave your ideas in the comments about what we can cover on the channel